Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Again, this is AJ. What you're looking at before you are some interesting containers. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that most people don't talk about in general, but we're all humans here. We're adults and so on. We have to talk about this. Hopefully, this will give you some other ideas that will help you when it comes to bathroom uses. Okay. What we're going to talk about today is how to dispose of your urine. Now, why is this even a topic? For those of you out there that may be doing van life, or maybe you're out on the boat, or you're in a tent camping, you got to go somewhere, and you got to go number one, which means it's a urine, right? So what I have here before you are some devices that would help along with this topic, and at the same time remaining clean. So let me bring this over here. You have a paper towel. This is a 96-ounce container. It's an overnight container just for your urine. And we got two of these, okay? And then we also have an ocean spray container, okay? It's about, the ocean spray container, I want to say it's almost a gallon. Actually, it's 3 liters to be exact. It's 101 ounces of fluid that it can hold. We have, here is a alcohol, 50% alcohol, okay? You can get that at a dollar store. You have a sprayer, and I'll tell you what I use that sprayer for. And then we also have 3% hydrogen peroxide. This one is 8 fluid ounces. It's got its own sprayer. Now, why did I put these devices together? So normally when you're out camping or you're in van life and so forth, you're gonna have to go to the bathroom. And when you do, this is where it comes in handy. So what you're gonna want to use is, just to stay clean, is this has a large mouth opening. Oops, I'll get that in a minute. And if you see, it's pretty big, okay? So obviously, if you're a guy, you can just stick your privates in there and do what you got to do and so on. It holds 96 ounces. So when you have two of these, right, it's almost 200 ounces of fluids that you can basically use. And most guys are not going to fill 2 of those up in a night or in a day, even in a 24-hour period. But then you can also use something as this. If you're really cheap and you don't want to spend money on a bottle, do yourself a favor. Get something called cranberry juice by Ocean Spray and help your liver out. Cranberry is good for your kidneys and so on. So if you want to just help flush out your kidneys a little bit, you can get an Ocean Spray container. And this one I labeled urine, right? And you just do that, okay? And that's what I use for myself when I go into van life or I go camping. I keep those containers together, okay? Now, since maybe water is not that really readily accessible, or maybe it's the middle of the night, keep a paper towel going, okay? So after you've done your business, what you do is you get a bottle like this. I got this at the dollar store for $1.25 at the Dollar General. And you just unscrew the lid, and what you do is you fill it up with this alcohol. I got this at the Dollar Tree also. It's only $1.25 for 16 fluid ounce of alcohol. You put this into this container, so just pour that in here, and then you begin to start spraying your hands, right? And then you dry it up. That's how you can keep your hands clean, okay? What people don't remember, 100 years ago, women cleaned their countertops, toilets, and so on with hydrogen peroxide. But people don't know how to use hydrogen peroxide to use that. But hydrogen peroxide is a disinfectant, so you just spray hydrogen peroxide in your hand just like I just did. And it's less abrasive in your hand. It doesn't dry it out as much as alcohol does, right? And this just disinfected your hand, and then you just dry it up with paper towel. Now your hands are clean. And as far as how to keep yourself clean in your private parts, you can also spray hydrogen peroxide, 3% only. It's a medical use, actually, and you just keep yourself clean with this, and you can do your wipe down in your body with this If you want to take a bath with it or whatever, just spray it all over you and then dry it up with a paper towel. Okay, and that's how you can self yourself clean with hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so whether you're camping, whether you're doing van life, or maybe you're out on a boat and your toilet is broken, this is how you can get by with urine issues and so on. Okay, another thing to keep in mind is another helpful hint. Remember that video? You can look at my channel here. I did a video on a bucket. It's a Gamma lid screw bucket, and it keeps all the smells out. Well, you can put that inside the Gamma lid bucket, and you don't have to worry about spilling everything because it's sealed once you seal it all up in case this falls over or whatever, right? And the other thing you want to remember is this. Remember the portable toilet video that I shot on this channel? If you can, you want to empty first your bladder into these devices, these containers. This big one right here, if you're a male, and it's like I said, it's a big opening. It holds 96 ounces of fluid. Okay, so you do the number one business there, and then if you have to go number two, now you can use the portable toilet, and now you're not going to have much fluids left in you, and you can go in there. You want to keep the urine and the feces not mixing together, because when they mix together, it smells worse. Okay, again, reminding that once you take care of your number two business into the portable toilet, and then you cover it all up into a plastic bag, you want to use that bucket that I recommended and put your number two stuff in a plastic bag and tie it all up and put it inside the bucket with the screw-on lid or the Gamma lid, and it keeps the smell out of the open air. Okay, so these are just some hints that I've given you that hopefully you would find helpful next time you go camping or you do a van life or you're stuck in a congested traffic. These are handy devices to keep. Now, what happens if you happen to be a female? I mean, you can't necessarily go to the bathroom using that, right? Well, if you happen to be a female, okay, you can use something like this. This is called a female urinal device. So if you have a place you can just pull over real quick in traffic, this is what the female will do. They would cup that into their private area, and then they could even put it in one of these devices, right? So you can use this and you can put the bottom piece here of this and put it in that container, and then you can go ahead and go to the bathroom. You can do it in the middle of the night, by a bed. If you don't want to walk somewhere, if you're out camping, you can't necessarily go outside because it's pitch black. But this is a handy device to use that even if you're a male or female, by just having these components, it will definitely keep you until you can get to a rest stop and empty these out. Or, if you have a dog, it's no different than a dog peeing in the bottom of a tree somewhere. You can empty this out outside and just dump it in a tree somewhere. It's just urine. Now you're watering the trees, and with this. And then when you're done with these containers, right, like what I've done here, okay, you can just take the container or any of those 96-ounce containers and just do a quick spray like this, and just spray it all the way around like that. And you can put that in your hand also, or use the 3% hydrogen peroxide, and this will keep your container from smelling bad. And also, you're also disinfecting your container as well. So these are just some hints when you're having to deal with urine issues and you're on the road or you're camping or doing van life and so on. Okay. Hopefully these are handy topics that you've learned how to keep yourself clean. At the same time, you have a way of going to the bathroom without having to, maybe the bathroom is taken up at a gas station or whatever. You can go in your car and keep the devices handy. And as long as you block out the windows so nobody can see you, you can just go to go take care of your number one right in your vehicle. Okay? So anyway, that's all I got for you folks. So please, if you like the content, like, comment, and subscribe. And tell your friends about the channel, how this guy is showing some interesting things. And like I said, this is part of a learning channel. I haven't done the adventures, but I will do the adventures later. And for right now, I can't do that right now. But anyway, I'm covering the topics that's easy to learn and it's doable for anybody to use. Okay? Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Like and subscribe. And until then, we'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.